Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our latest episode of Ohio DD Talks. My name is Nathan Turner. I'm delighted you all could join us today. Today, we're going to have a fascinating discussion about navigating public benefits in the Ohio SOAR program. It's really important for people with disabilities to understand what benefits are, how to navigate the systems, and what resources are available in Ohio to navigate their daily lives and to just take advantage of the same opportunities that people who don't live with a disability are able to pursue. Today, I'm so excited to have joining us Brandon Smith. He's a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration. He supports Cleveland and Akron, and also Candace Talty from SOAR Ohio as the Ohio State lead, and they're going to discuss benefits navigation, outcomes, and tips for the disability community. Thank you so much, Brandon and Candace, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you each want to take a moment and just kind of introduce yourselves to the audience and tell us more about your broader connection to the disability community?
Sure. Do you want me to start?
Ladies
Yes.
first.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Candace Talty. I have been with SOAR Ohio for about 8 years. I first worked in a community setting where I did nothing but the SOAR applications. And now I am the SOAR director. And I work for an agency in Columbus, but I still live here in Akron, Coalition on Homelessness and Housing in Ohio. And we just specialize in training our specialists throughout Ohio to learn how to do the SOAR applications. The SOAR application is very cumbersome. I'm sure Brandon can tell you that, those applications for Social Security disability are very cumbersome, very long, and we take that away from the clients that are doing it. We have a grant now with Ohio DDC, so we're very excited about that, and we're willing to help anybody involved with the Ohio DDC board and council, and just to help them navigate the system, answer any questions you have, help you with your application if needed, and any other general information that you need, we'd be happy to provide it for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Candace. Brandon, how about you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks again. My name is Brandon Smith. I'm a public affairs specialist from the Social Security Administration. I handle the agency's public outreach in the greater Cleveland area and other random parts of Northeast Ohio. I'm one of 5 public affairs specialists in Ohio. I have a counterpart and friend. He's in downtown Akron, Toledo, Cincinnati, and Dayton. My responsibility is to speak to the community about our benefits and services, be it presentations, events, podcasts, occasionally some TV and radio. So looking forward to the opportunity to, talking about the basics of supplemental security income with the listeners.
I'm looking forward to it too, and you have a booming voice for a podcast, so I know this is going to be exciting. So, Brandon, if you're okay with starting us off, can you talk a little bit about the basics of benefit eligibility for Social Security programs, and also if you could talk a little bit about employment supports and work incentives that are available?
Sure. So Social Security Administration signed in a law on August 14th, 1935, is arguably the most successful domestic program in the country's history. We administer the Social Security retirement, survivor, disability, supplemental security income programs. Regarding our disability programs, and I know sometimes it can be a bit of alphabet soup for people, there's Social Security Disability Insurance, sometimes known as SSDI. And then there's Supplemental Security Income, probably better known as SSI, which is a federal needs-based program for people that are blind, disabled, or over the age of 65 with limited income, limited resources. Social Security Disability Insurance, it's a work-based program. Person had worked and paid into Social Security long enough to be insured for benefits. Those benefits could potentially also allow spouses, ex-spouses, children to receive benefits from the worker's record. And real quick, people often say, well, what is Social Security's definition of being disabled? means a person has a medically determinable condition, be it physical, mental, or psychological. It's going to keep them from working at a substantial gainful level and is expected to last at least 12 months or eventually end their life.
And I know that eligibility for Social Security Social Security programs can be confusing because a lot of folks, might say, well, sometimes Social Security says I'm not disabled, but it's really about that ability to make a living, correct, and earn above certain amounts in addition to the medical requirement of disability.
Sure. My degree from the University of Akron is in interpersonal and public communication. So I'm really big on making sure that the lines of communication are as clear as possible between myself and the member of the public. When we say a person, quote unquote, isn't disabled, we may be just saying that they're not eligible for benefits that we administer, based on their individual situations. But you're right. Our retirement benefits have a different criteria than our disability benefits. So the public maybe wants to be as specific as possible, because sometimes people will say, well, I want to get Social Security benefits. And it's like, well, which one are you inquiring about? And they'll say regular Social Security. And it's, and sometimes we're talking at each other and not talking to each other. That's why platforms such as yourself, hopefully, is really helpful to getting clear, concise information out to the public.
Thank you so much. Candace, would you be able to talk a little bit about the SOAR program and what eligibility requirements are necessary to participate in SOAR and work with a SOAR specialist?
Sure. Thank you. Well, SOAR stands for SSI, SSDI, Outreach, Access, and Recovery. So we're a holistic type of program. We not only help individuals apply for their Social Security benefits, we also try to help them get into housing, get started on a new life, getting those benefits and making it work for them. We have several ways of doing that. We do work with people for the SSDI program as well as the SSI program. We do kind of require them to be maybe at risk of homelessness or already in a homeless situation, but we also work with the DD Council very well, helping these people get involved more in the community and getting them their own housing. A lot of our clients that are from the DD Society are living at home and they want to be more independent. So we are able to get them on benefits and start them on that process of becoming more independent, living on their own, maybe even working some, because we do have a lot of our DD clients that are working and doing something productive. We also just take our time with the applications. We know that they can be very long. They can be a very cynical process. So we take all that worry out. We do it for them. We work with them. We have them working with us as well. So they get us the information. We put it all together. We establish their disability. We work with their doctors to get the medical records in. We basically do a lot of that very small, tedious work that doesn't require you to do it when you're working with Social Security. So we do all of that for them. We act as their representative from start to finish, and hopefully it's finished with an award and we get them going on their way. A lot of our specialists are agency case managers, so they're able to work with that client the whole way through, starting them on Social Security, getting them into housing, getting them really involved in the community and starting a new and maybe a different way of life for them. So we try to do just that holistic approach with each of our clients.
Excellent. It sounds like a really helpful program. Can you talk more about the mission of your organization, Candace?
Yeah, so SOAR's mission is basically just taking that burden, that heavy weight of doing these applications. There are so many applications that we, or applicants that we do come involved with that have tried before to do Social Security, and they just can't do it on their own. So our mission is basically to help them through that, to get them through that. Our specialists, even I was a specialist for 7 years. I went through a very long training. We learned how to do the Social Security process from start to finish, exactly how they want it. And that can be challenging. That takes a long time to learn it, to get to be familiar with the ins and outs of Social Security, but we can do that. And that makes it such a great program to help individuals who are struggling, who have disabilities, who, whether they're mental or physical or psychological, who can't sit down and do this application themselves. They need somebody. We do it free of charge. Our specialists are trained, and each specialist in each area has a connection to Social Security offices to help them, to turn in their applications to them. And then we also have a special unit down here, well, down in Columbus, that takes all of the applications. The homeless unit does all the SOAR applications. So we can get them done very quickly, and the turnaround is just great. It is just such a good amount of time that we can get these clients on their way and started in a new life.
Excellent. It sounds like that is a really critically needed initiative and an excellent way to expedite benefits to the people that need them. And I wanted to give Brandon an opportunity to talk about how people might file for Social Security benefits and different options they have for an appeal as well.
Sure. So people do have the option of applying for benefits, be it online, in many instances over the phone. And back on April 7th, our offices did reopen for face-to-face interaction, including for those without appointment. So starting online, and the good thing about applying online, depending on the benefit, assuming that it's something that you can do online, every single day of the year, 365 days out of the year, you can apply online for benefits. You can apply at your leisure as early as 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 on Sundays. So the hours in which you could apply online are going to far exceed the situations in which you could apply over the phone or in person. Now, you can apply online for Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security spousal benefits, Social Security disability insurance benefits, and Medicare online. We do have an online SSI application, but it's for those that are between the ages of 18 and 64 who haven't ever applied before. So if you're someone that has applied before, the online SSI application may not work for you, but we do have another tool for people who want to get help getting started applying for SSI. You can go to our website, socialsecurity.gov or ssa.gov. Click on the link for SSI. It'll give you an option. It's like a 10 to 15 minute online process where you would give us the basic contact information for the person that's interested in applying for benefits. And then a Social Security representative will make an appointment for that person and send out a letter or an email within 7 to 14 business days or so. Let's say none of that works for a person. You can call our toll-free national number, 1-800-772-1213. You can call us and schedule an appointment. That number is staffed between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And as I mentioned, the local offices are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're closed on the weekends and the 11 federal holidays. But just to be clear, a person still has to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. We're asking that if it's possible, a person comes by themselves, or if not, with just one other adult, because we can only have a certain number of people in the office at a given time. So those days of you coming in with your 3 friends and your 8 cousins is probably done for the foreseeable future. And just be aware that if you don't have an appointment, there could be a bit of a wait. You know, if the office can only have 8 people in there and you're person number 11, you're probably going to have to wait outside. And so you got to be cognizant of what the weather situations are.
Thank you for that, Brandon. And are these resources available on the My SSA account?
That's a really good segue. So we do encourage people that can and want to create what's called a My Social Security account free of charge at our website, socialsecurity.gov/my account. Now, the My Social Security account is really built to give you more personalized information about your own situation. If you're not on Social Security, you can pull up the My Social Security account to get your statement. If you're already receiving benefits, you can usually get benefit verification letters. In some instances, you can change your address, your telephone number, your direct deposit. And most importantly, you can also request a replacement Social Security card via the My Social Security account. But if you know how to if you have a My Social Security account, you can easily pull up this information that I've talked about on our website, ssa.gov or socialsecurity.gov.
Okay, great. Candace, I want to talk with you for a second about some of the outcomes and success stories that you've had from the SOAR program.
Okay, sure. Well, right now in 2022, we are at about a 70% approval rate. So that means 70% of all of our applications, whether they're SSI or SSDI, have been approved. We do that in about 117 days. Now that's a little bit higher than normal just because of with all the COVID stuff going on and Social Security just now getting back into their offices. But we usually can get that done within 90 days or so. So in less than 3 months, we have a turnaround and we know the decision of our outcomes. Oh my, I could tell you a lot of success stories. We've had so many. One recently was a young man who was in the DD Council who tried and tried several times. And we know that the Social Security application is a long process and it can be sometimes very tedious, very hard to navigate for anybody. And he tried several times. He even was denied, I think twice when he was doing it. He just kind of gave up and he came to one of our specialists. It was down in the Columbus area and she was able to help him. She was able to get his medical records, all of the information from him that she needed. She got the application within maybe 60 days or so. She became his representative. We always become the representative when we're working with Social Security. And he was finally awarded. So we were really excited for her and for him because now he's getting the benefits he needs. She's working with him to get him an apartment by himself so that he can live alone. And this is just similar to all of the other applications that we do. We work with people who have tried and tried and they just can't get it. They either lose their patience with it, they can't get their medical records. So we have that process of doing everything for them, keeping them involved and just getting everything all in a decent amount of time so that their turnovers and their outcomes are positive and they're done very quickly.
Excellent, thank you. What's one piece of advice that both of you would give, particularly to someone with living with a developmental disability, to navigating public benefits? And I don't know if Candace, if you want to go first.
Sure. I would say just don't give up. Always keep trying, reach out to somebody, call a SOAR specialist, call me if you don't know where to find one. I will be more than happy to help you. But just keep pushing yourself till you get an answer. You can reach out to a SOAR specialist and just ask us, a variety of questions. Even though we're not doing your application for you, we're more than happy to you. Reach out to Social Security, reach out to the adjudicators once you get that far. Always continue to ask questions. They're always willing to help you. There are times when it's a little bit hard to get hold of maybe a Social Security worker or the DDS worker, but they are willing to help and they're more than happy to help you. So just never give up on your application.
Thank you. Brandon, any advice from you?
I'm going to steal a little bit of Candace's thunder. we want to make sure that the public knows that they can contact us so that they are as best informed regarding the decisions they're going to make going forward. So if a person says, hey, look, I want to apply for benefits, but I don't know what information Social Security is going to want. Once again, that information is going to be readily available. socialsecurity.gov, also known as ssa.gov. You can call us and we can either read off or send you we have plenty of booklets that can be emailed, can be texted, the links to you that will clearly indicate, hey, here's a list of the documentation, here's a list of the information you're going to need to have when you apply for benefits. You can call us once again, 1-800-772-1213. We have a field office locator on our website, ssa.gov/locator. You'll pop in your zip code. It'll give you the address of the office that services your area. We have to be neutral regarding what you do with the information. So I really want people to realize Social Security can't tell you what you should do or when you should do it, but we just want to give you the information that will hopefully allow you to make the most informed decision for yourself. socialsecurity.gov, 1-800-772-1213.
Thank you. So one of the biggest things I hear from people when they're talking about applying for public benefits is, can I work and still keep my Social Security or my Medicaid? And I'm wondering if Candace and Brandon have any thoughts or ideas about how either Social Security or the SOAR program would be able to support someone working. Brandon, you want to kick us off?
Sure. We flipped a mental coin and I picked the wrong side, so I'll go first. Yeah, with Social Security and supplemental security income, yes, a person can be in the workforce, receiving the salary, and still continue to receive their benefits. Now, there are limits to how much a person can work and earn and still receive their entire check. And since your focus was especially on supplemental security income because you said public benefits, just real clear, just understand, since supplemental security income or SSI is a needs-based program, if you decide to re-enter the workforce, it is going to potentially lower the amount of the check. It's your responsibility if you go back to work to report your wages. The good thing about SSI, there's a mobile wage reporting app available on Android and Apple devices. If you have a My Social Security account, you can report your wages via the My Social Security portal. There, you can call us, you can fax in your pay stubs, but since SSI is a needs-based program, yes, if you do go back to work, this is not encouraged nor discouraging. It will potentially affect the amount of your check. Rules a little bit different if you're receiving Social Security disability insurance, because that is not a needs-based program. But if you have general questions regarding how much can you work and earn, how long can you work at a certain level and still collect benefits, you can call us once again, 1-800-772-1213. We have publications regarding re-entering the workforce. You can go on our website, socialsecurity.gov. You can contact your local office and we can give you information. But once again, we can't tell you if you should or shouldn't go back to work. We can just let you know how that potential work will affect your benefits.
Thank you. Candace, do you have any advice or ideas for someone who might want to work while receiving benefits?
Yeah, I think Brandon said it really well. There is going to be some effect on your SSI payments, but if you're only working maybe one day a week, just something for you to do and to get involved, to stay interactive with your community, that's not going to affect it as much. But just know that there is going to be some effect. If you're working quite a bit, it's going to lower your SSI payment. SOAR deals with mostly SSI, but we do have a lot of SSDI applicants and we work with them. We make sure that they know what's being taken out and why it's being taken out if they work. We strongly encourage them to set up that My Social Security account so they can turn in their wages and anything that involving them working right through that portal. And then Social Security is really good about getting back with them about, what you're going to make this month, what's your payments going to be like, so that they know ahead of time and they can make that decision. I have worked with quite a few of our DD specialists that encourage our clients to work, and they do. They work one day, maybe 2 days a week, and they love it, and they're not losing a lot of their benefits. What they're making up in the actual work is kind of compensating for that loss of their money. So it really is a win-win situation. And we, as SOAR specialists, we love to have our clients work, and we can help them any way that we can.
That's excellent. And my understanding is that the rules are set up so that in the vast majority of situations, the person receiving benefits is going to end up with more money at the end of the month than if they did not work. So we always want to encourage working where possible, because we know that people learn new skills and meet new people, and it's just great for people to get out and be in the community.
Yeah, that's how we feel about it.
Excellent. Thank you. We're getting toward the end of our program, but I wanted to give both of you an opportunity, if folks wanted to reach out to the two of you and learn a little bit more about, or your agencies, and learn more about your programs, to figure out how best they could do that. So Candace, if you wouldn't mind sharing your contact information with our listeners.
Oh, sure. Well, you can reach me by phone. That's perfectly fine. It's 1-614-280-1984, and I'm at extension 139. Or you can go onto our Ohio website, and that'll give you a lot of information. It'll tell you how to get started, where to contact different people in your local area. And that's at cohio.org. So that's cohio.org/programs/SOAR Ohio.
Thank you. And Brandon, if you could close us out by giving some information on the best ways to contact the Social Security Administration, that'd be wonderful.
Sure. If your company or agency or organization is potentially looking for speakers, there are situations in which we could possibly attend in person. We also have the option to do virtual presentations. I, once again, only handle a small sliver of the state. So I'm a broken record. SSA.gov. That's our website, SSA.gov. Simply click on the menu button and scroll down to where it says ask for a speaker, and it'll connect you with the regional office that handles the particular state. Ohio is in the 6-state Chicago region, so your request would go to Chicago, and then they would make sure that it gets to the correct public affairs specialist in your state. Once again, toll-free number 1-800-772-1213.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted that the two of you were able to join us today. A special thank you to Brandon Smith and Candace Talty for joining us today and talking about public benefits through the Social Security Administration and Ohio SOAR. And I want to thank the listeners for joining. And I want to remind you all to please share your stories with us. We appreciate hearing from them and engaging with you on our social media networks. Hearing your feedback helps us to gauge content for future episodes. So please share on social media and tell us what you'd like to hear. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Take care.